lads, give your heart and soul. Run lads, shoot lads, give us all a go. Run lads, shoot lads, you can do it yet. Come on Newport County, oh, bang it in the net.
Hello everybody and welcome to Taff's Word. Happy days, we're top for Christmas. As bittersweet as it is because we suffered our first home loss of the season in the league, of course. A difficult one at that because at 2-2 we missed a penalty. Both their goals came against the run of play as well, which is disappointing because of how well our defence have done so far this season. And yeah, we ended up losing the game. They sought the initiative to attack us towards the end, where it's usually us who does that and ends up getting the win. So we've been sort of played at our own game and we were defeated at it. But hopefully that will spark a reaction because we have been in a bit of a poor run of form. I don't think we've won any games in the league for the last I think it was the last 4 games we haven't won in. I'm trying to think of what we did before Leyton Orient away. I can't think off the top of my head. But you know, we have been in a run of poor form considering where we've been. Unfortunately, even though we're still top, the chasing pack have caught us and we are 1 game away from losing that top spot. But we're going into Christmas top of the league. I think the last time we were top of any league at Christmas was, I think it was during the 2012-13 season in the conference when we got promoted. I'm sure we were top for Christmas then. And I believe one of the things that accredited to us losing top spot was losing the bottom of the league barrow after all the fans scraped up all the snow outside the ground so the game could go ahead. And we were served, I think it was a 2-0 loss against bottom of the league at home. Yeah, disappointing. I think on New Year's Day then we got absolutely pumped by Forest Green. No, is that right? Because I think we did. I think we lost quite heavily on New Year's Day that season as well. Forest Green, I actually remember New Year's Day now. I think we lost something like 5-1 at home to Forest Green, something like that. Disappointing, but we still got promoted that season. So the thing is, top for Christmas. We tend to have a slump around this time of year, the winter slump I always call it. But you know, we always start reasonably well, under Flynn at least anyway. We always, under Flynn, start reasonably well, and then we always end up falling away in the middle of the season. You know, the colder months. But then we always finish strongly, which is what I'm going to pin my hopes on when I do talk about our promotion chances a bit later in the video. One of the things that we've had to encounter, especially since the birth of County Chat on Facebook, and most of you will know what that is. For those of you who don't, yep, there is a group on Facebook full of county fans called County Chat. What you got is a lot of fans moaning, and pretty much most weeks, even when we win, moaning about the lack of chances taken, moaning about switching off at the back, moaning about the goalkeeper should have saved this. But for me, it's very, very nitpicky on all that. I think for you to whinge when we're top of the league, considering that we were one of the favourites to go down this season, I think it's absolutely incredible for people to actually nitpick at this. What I'm saying is we're on a bloody good run. Even if we are on a bit of poor form now, this season we've done phenomenally well. The Carabao Cup run, we're in the 3rd round of the FA Cup playing another Premier League team. And we're top of the league going into Christmas. How anyone can want to nitpick negativity in our performances when you could just sit back and just enjoy the fact that we're doing well is absolutely beyond me. I mean, yeah, you can obviously point out weaknesses. I mean, we're going to have weaknesses, you know, like I said. You know, we got one of the lowest budgets in the league and we were one of the favourites to go down. You know, you're going to get weaknesses in your team. You know, there's a lot of fans and younger ones, and I understand, you know, you've been brought up on the Premier League, you know, and you've always had like a team like Man United or Liverpool, someone like that, you know, teams that are used to winning most weeks. And, you know, following Newport County and having a good start of the season, you got into that expectation mode thinking, right, we're going to win every week now. It is disappointing to lose when you're used to winning, yes. But it's great winning when you're used to losing. Now, if you go back to not all that many years ago, like 2016-17, the Great Escape season, we'd only won 5 league games before Flynn took over. you know, and that was 34 games. 5 in 34 we won. You know, so we were pretty much used to losing every week back then. The season before, we didn't fare well either. We could have gone down if it weren't for the fact that Dagenham and Redbridge and York had dreadful seasons. I mean, we had a dreadful season, but theirs was, you know, abysmal. I mean, you know, you go back to the time we nearly went down from the conference. You know, we lost a lot of games that season. You know, and prior to that, you know, before the likes of Dean Holdsworth had come along, you know, we were always having different seasons. You know, so it's customary as a county fan to be used to losing games. So for me, to be moaning when we're winning and we're top of the league is just baffling. So like I said, I've accredited it to obviously new supporters who've been used to following Premier League teams. Nothing against new fans, we want as many new fans as we can get. But all I'm just saying is just try and set your expectations a bit more realistically. We're still in League 2. We're talking about a division where teams can lose 10 to 15 games in a league season and still comfortably win the title, which has happened a number of times. We've lost 4 games this season in the league, I believe. Is it 4? I'm not sure. Yeah, it would have been 4. 4 games we've lost: Cambridge, Carlisle, Leyton Orient away, and now Oldham. I might be wrong with that. I might have missed one out somewhere, but I don't think many teams have beaten us. We've won a lot of games this year. We haven't lost many, so we're pretty near enough halfway through with only losing 4, if that is true. So even if by the time we play everybody we've lost 5, you know, we're on course to, you know, law of averages to only lose 10 games. Where, like I said, teams have comfortably won the League 2 title, losing 10 of their 46 games. So say there's no time to panic just yet on that. The recruitment in the summer was great. All of the bad recruitment from the year before was wiped out, and pretty much every single signing was good. We haven't seen much from Bradley Webb, unfortunately. It doesn't look as though we're going to see much of him with Aaron Lewis playing so well at left back as cover for Ryan Haynes against Leyton Orient. Unfortunately, I know we lost that game. But all in all, I think the recruitment was amazing, and I'm going to come on to Scott Twine, who for me is one of the best loan signings I think we've ever made. Other than central defenders, I think he possibly could be the best loan signing we've ever made. And it's almost certain that Swindon, who are doing poorly at the moment, are going to call him back, because what he's doing for us, if he can do that for them in League 1, it's a no-brainer for them. Absolutely no-brainer. But, you know, you will cling to some, you know, glimmer of hope that, you know, that they will allow him to stay with us for the rest of the season, especially if they can have a turn of form and think, well, we don't need to add his wages back onto our budget. You know, and that's another thing that to consider is the budget, the wages. We'll be covering, if not all, but a high percentage of his wages. So are they going to be willing, especially in the current climate, to put that back onto their budget? It'll be worth it if it prevents them from getting relegated, of course. But, you know, they may, you know, if they hit a bit of good form and they think, right, we can get away without putting that extra budget on. It's wishful thinking, of course, but you never know. Flynn has adapted well tactically this season in games which last season I feel we would have lost. So basically at the beginning of the season, Flynn was written off because of the departure of Lenny Lawrence, or apparently he was going to get found out. Well, he has been found out to be an absolutely brilliant manager, destined to go on to bigger and better things with or without us. So without Lenny Lawrence, Flynn, so let's just say Flynn's finally now been kicked out of the nest, and now he's flying, and he's flying bloody high, you know. So I think Flynn deserves a special mention, you know, by the way that he's got the team playing this season. The transfer window's coming up, and we're talking about players coming in and leaving. Personally, I can't see why any of them would leave, except for me, like I said, Webb, Aaron Lewis potentially. I think Jamie Devitt has dipped in form, and we will be covering wages of his, but I'd like to keep him, because if Scott Twine does have to go, Devitt would be the likely choice to slot in to make up, or to fill the void. Is there any money in the budget because of the Carabao Cup run? Potentially. How would that money be spent? You can say a striker, but We got a lot of options, forward options. Obviously, Lewis Collins bang on the door for starting place. I felt he had a poor game against Oldham, missed a couple of really good chances, but you know, it's good to see him getting in those positions, and it's good to see him obviously pushing the manager to give him a starting spot. So I don't think that's the end of him for this season, of course. So I'm hoping to see a lot more starting performances from him. Kevin Ellison is certainly proving his worth, being written off before he even kicked the ball for us, just because of his age. He's shown that he's still got it. You know, he's always come on and made a good impact, I believe. The only time I think that he haven't really played that well was when he started against Leyton Orient. I think that was a poor game for him, for his standards. But, you know, no one's going to be perfect. So in the transfer window, I mean, Ryan Taylor is going to come back from injury. Is he going to provide that extra option up front to score goals? Proctor, is he the real deal? Proctor, I feel as though he's able to get goals. Is he consistent enough? I haven't seen enough to convince me he's consistent enough to command a starting spot for us, and I think Taylor will knock the door and push him down the pecking order when he's fully fit. But Hammond has shown that he's still got it, but he's very up and down still. Abrahams will have a good game and then a bad game, so the consistency up front isn't really there. The midfield is strong. If we lose Twine, it'll be severely weakened, but hopefully there's a contingency plan in place to replace him if he does go. Defence, I don't think needs touching at all, especially since Long King has come back. And what we have seen, the glimpses we've seen of him are promising. So hopefully he'll figure a little bit more. And I still think it's a stroke of genius putting Matty Dolan at the back, and I think he's defended impeccably. You know, also as a ball-playing centre back, I think he's distributed the ball exceptionally from there. So he's like a player reborn. Promotion chances, I did say that I was going to talk about them. I think our promotion chances are extremely good, considering the position that we put ourselves in. The only thing is now is that what we've got to do, what we really have to do, is get back onto that winning run. Crawley away is going to be a tough game. We have got some tough games coming up. I think there's 4 more teams to play, and we played everybody. Crawley away, we've got Southend at home. I believe we've got Cheltenham away and Exeter at home. They may be the wrong way round on that one. Forgive me if that's the case. But those are the 4 teams we've got to play, and 3 of those teams have been good this season: Exeter, Cheltenham and Crawley. Although Southend are finding themselves in a bit of form. You know, at the beginning of the season, I think, yeah, you want to get Southend out of the way, play both of their games with them and get your 6 points while you can get them. I do worry a little bit with their upturn in form, although I think we should have enough to put them away, so I'd expect 3 points in our Southend game. I'd like to think the home game will win. I think it's Exeter, so I'd like to think we'll beat Exeter. We've got a good record against them at home in recent seasons anyway. But then other than that, then Crawley away, I'd like to see at least a point there on Boxing Day. That'd be good. Although you do want to break this winless run as quickly as you can, so obviously you want to win every game, but I think Crawley is one. It's going to be a difficult one. Cheltenham away, obviously, but they've hit a bit of bad form themselves, so it could be the right time to catch them. So about are our promotion chances good? I'm going to say yes, we got a promotion chance, although I'm not going to get ahead of myself on it. We're doing well, we're top of Christmas, enjoy it, just enjoy the ride, stop criticising, because it doesn't bode well for when we do get to go back to the ground, if we do get to go back at all this season. Dripford being the wanker that he is. You know, just embrace these players. They're working their socks off for us, and they're playing bloody good football. And even some of the people who I know who tend to moan most weeks, even when we do win as well, are actually all over them now. You know, they're living life. You know, because they're true, proper county supporters. You know, so I'm not saying people are not true county supporters if you're moaning about them now. You know, you might pick the holes in their performances and point out where they can go right. You know, where they may be going wrong. But it's the manager's job to keep on top of all that sort of stuff, and just trust the fact that because he's done so well for us, that he is highlighting his areas, and you will see the improvements in them soon enough. So we'll have to just wait and see. Anyway, this will probably be the last Taff word before Christmas, so I'd like to wish all the viewers a Merry Christmas. Thanks for your support of the channel, and hopefully in the new year there'll be more fluid and better content to come. One-to-ones, I'm hoping to reach out to a few leads that I've taken recently to get some more one-to-ones on the go. I know I haven't done one for a while, but they will be coming back, and hopefully a bit more fan interaction through Skype as well. So more videos like that. So keep your eyes peeled. There could be something coming out quite soon on that front. So yeah, thanks all. Cheerio for now, and as always, up the county. Many thanks for watching the latest content on the Amber Army channel. Please make sure you leave us a like. Make sure you subscribe for more content, both for the neutral football fan and also plenty of Newport County. Even more Newport County content can be found on the club's iFollow channel on the link above. It is just £4.49 per month to subscribe to that service. And those of you feeling extra generous can also support us on Patreon on the link at the bottom there. That would be a monthly donation of your choice. Thank you again, make sure you've subscribed, and as always, up the county.